Copyright Fair Use Notice Title 17 U.S. Code Section 107 through 118 of the Copyright Law. All media in this video is used for the purposes of review and commentary for fair use. All footage and music and images used belong to their respective copyright owners. All review material is meant for all ages and are looked at from an adult analytical perspective. Viewers under the age of 13 should not watch.
Salutations, everybody. Paper Fame Kings here, and we're doing a Paper Fame and Gao reaction today, tackling the Precure openings.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, and we talked a little bit about the franchise in my top 10 anime openings video, but Precure is a long-running magical girl franchise that has been on the air since 2004. If you've never heard of it before, don't feel bad. There hasn't been much adaptation here in the States under that name. Glitter Force. Don't watch. But anyway, I'll be taking these through all the openings that premiered thus far. At the time of recordings, Untitled Precure aired their, I believe, 30th episode about 2 hours ago. And also, fair warning, will only be, for the most part, we'll be looking at the first openings for each season, as I'm still showing them all the seasons, and there are a few that we have yet to touch. And please, no spoilers in the comments.
All spoilers will be fed to the YouTube overlords, because they are hungry and always feasting.
On so much. So you boys ready to start?
Oh boy. Yep, I'm ready.
I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
Alright, well, I'll be getting at the start.
I love how they're just flying through the air like they're Dragon Ball characters. Of course it is. That makes sense why they can fight with this. All they're missing is throwing around energy spheres in like 2 seconds.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, because this is our review and reaction channel. This is all based on our opinions. Anything we say is based on our opinion and is not an omnipotent, beyond unchallengeable statement of facts. So I'm gonna be real. This season used to be my least favorite. Ironically, it's the very first one. As Gao said, I haven't been shown all the Precure, so there's probably a lot of other bad Precure seasons. But for the longest time, this season stood as one of the roughest, and I gave it a lot of slack being the first. But then that season 2 happened, and all slack went out the window.
Understandable.
Yeah, as I came to find out, Paper had a problem with almost all the fairies except for Cure Whites.
Here's the thing. The Kingdom of Light in this season was so freaking incompetent. Here is the Guardian of the 7 Jewels. Doesn't protect the jewels whatsoever. Even when they find all of them, he gets captured, he gets kidnapped, he doesn't do anything. Here's the caretaker of the Kingdom of Light. Doesn't do anything. Doesn't even really give exposition. Gets the characters' names wrong for whatever stupid reason. The Queen of Light doesn't really do much outside of get herself and the dark god scattered to the winds, and we have to deal with her heart pieces showing up at randomly. And it's not even like, oh, we have to find them. Oh, the evil side is trying to capture them. They're trying to find them first and corrupt the queen's heart. Anything. No, they're just going to show up at random whenever they feel like it. Honestly, if we watch the series, I don't think I could contain my anger. So if you want to see Angry Paper at his best, consider donating to us for us tackling season 1 of Precure, either as an episodic reaction or a retrospective. But yeah, my least favorite may actually surprise some of you, because from what I've seen, there's one that legit became my most hated. Not only because the villain was terrible, the cures were bland, the plot was annoying, the misuse of characters, and so on. But as far as the opening is concerned, the opening's fine. Good lord, I've seen the jumping through the debris field. It's pretty iconic as far as Precure seasons go, especially in the crossover movies. Like, hey, they did the thing.
And as I've told Paper before, they'll do it every chance they get.
Yep. But I'm dropping the mic or passing the mic to whoever wants to talk.
There's one way to sum up the royal characters in this show. Good job, Sailor Moon. You've done your part, and now I must be off. But Tuxedo Mask, you didn't do anything. And just dips. That's the best way I can sum it up. That's the best way I can sum up the Royals.
Yeah, well, I think we just showed our ages a little bit with that reference.
We did.
Shall we
Maybe.
move on? So, yeah, for this one, it was actually the first time I had heard this opening because back in the day when Toon Dude was still around, he actually ran this one anime streaming website before possibly Crunchyroll was a thing, and I actually saw the first season in English. Imagine my surprise when I found this one.
Interesting. Okay. Pretty much the same song as the first one. They updated the animation, which it's a decent song, good animation. We get introduction to Luminous, who for the longest time wasn't treated as a cure because she wasn't Cure Luminous. She was just Luminous. Though it seems nowadays she's actually considered one of the cures. I don't know. The cure politics is ridiculous.
Won't argue with that.
But overall, I like the intro. But I do want to say, like, it kind of is telling, because especially with some of the precures down the road, will actually like show the villains. And both the first opening and the second opening doesn't really cover the generals whatsoever. We see the shadows of the Zakena, and that's about it. Dropping the mic and passing the mic.
I'm pretty sure Paper summed up all that needed to be said about the secondary opening of this. No, I definitely like this one a lot better than the other one.
Yeah, fair. And yeah, when it comes to this season, while I was first watching it, the similarities between this and their immediate predecessors, well, gonna be more obvious. But I will admit they did put their own spin on things. Not to mention the first time we got a form change in a Precure series, which, while I didn't really look too deep into it, was met with less backlash than when the first Common Rider form change.
Okay, what an improvement in Precure, and all it took was an extra season in between. I love the Splash Star season. I liked the fountains. I liked all the different generals being, well, spoilers, the embodiments of the different fountains that were corrupted, and they even made a return with like more powers, more upgrades, everything. Plus, these two are just far more likable than the original two. And maybe I'm like a little bit salty because at least in this one, it didn't have an ED constantly saying how much the MC didn't want to be a hero and would rather fall in love and eat chocolate and do other stuff instead.
Yeah, I won't lie, that definitely did put a damper on the first one, whereas this one they clearly got along better, and there was a lot more going on in terms of them wanting to actually be heroes.
Yeah, and not to mention, on a bit of a sour note, this was the season that introduced an ending that seriously overstayed its welcome. If you know, you know.
Yeah, I know the opening you're talking about. I say it does work for this one. Them reusing it in I think like Precure 5 was kind of like some whiplash.
And its second season.
Yeah.
Speaking of
But
which, due to just how badly it flopped, this video will not cover Precure 5's third season.
noted. But yeah, Splash Star was like a major improvement for the Precure, in my opinion. I actually hold Splash Star higher up in the Precure rankings, but I think that's it for me. Dropping the mic.
Honestly, I gotta agree. Like, this one was a lot more entertaining, to say the least, in terms of, like, grabbing the attention with not only the MCs, but the opening as well. Plus, I found these two more enjoyable. Like, their dynamic just worked. Don't get me wrong, the first two had a... Actually, no, I take that back. These two are better. They're a better duo, really. They are. I got bored of the first two. Like, I honestly would focus more on the bad guys and tune out the heroes, at least the majority of the time.
Alright, well, let's move on to what will likely be one of the more divisive seasons for these two.
Let me get this out of the way real quick. I hate Milk.
Oh boy.
Between this season and the next season, I hated this character. I hated this fairy. I felt she was entirely pointless. I felt the fact that they made her a cure in season 2 was the most undeserving Precure edition, and I've mostly held that standpoint until I saw Idol, which gave me an even more hated character to despise. Milk was intolerable. She showed up And when we were watching it, one of our friends was like trying to defend her, thinking she was a child. It's like, no, she's not a child. She's the same age, or if not like a little bit younger than Coco and Nuts, who are treated like school teachers in this series. She openly knew how to manipulate things and get her way and go into survival mode. And even if you want to say it's like, well, she was in survival mode, it's like, yeah, but she showed no remorse for what she did. She didn't care. It was, oh well. It's not like she tried to go back and repay the kindness of the people she took advantage of. No, she didn't care. She was just as bad as the villains who take and never give back. The reasons might be different, but it's still the same thing. She was a horrible character, and the fact that she was given the Precure powers and made Miss Super Special Freaking Awesome was absolutely grating. And her hatred of Nozomi, the main lead Precure this season, because now we have 5 this season, but her hatred of the pink Precure absolutely got on my nerves. And it was clear she was jealous. It's clear she's a brat. She's a B word I can't say because of YouTube. But above all else, like, and yes, the one in Idol is worse, but good God, I hate it. Like, I could not stand watching a third season, and someone actually told me that Milk's actually better in the third season. I don't freaking care. She should not have been a Precure. She was given power, and she did not deserve. But if you took Milk out of this series, I can stress highly that I would have loved season 1 and season 2 a whole lot more. Milk was the one thing dragging down the series, because all these girls are great. They're all unique. They all have great interactions with each other. There wasn't too many head-bangingly stupid plot contrivant moments. There was a little bit of what some people might call Red Ranger favoritism with Nozomi, because like they're all like, well, it's like Nozomi like makes us stronger, and Nozomi does this, and Nozomi does that, and Nozomi does this. And I'm just like thinking, okay, guys, like, yeah, like I know she's your friend and she's great, but y'all are great too. And if I recall correctly, like this is one of the first ones that did 5 Precure.
Correct. The very first.
So I'll give it like a little bit of slack that, you know, they're still trying to find their way, but you got to be careful with Red Ranger favoritism. Team 4-Star called it like the shut up and wait for Goku moment that a lot of DBZ fans kind of point and try and attribute to the show, even though that was never actually the case in the canon, because usually the waiting for Goku usually ended badly because Goku also wasn't ready and got his shit rocked until something got pulled out the butt and saved him last minute.
You're not wrong there.
In this season, actually, the only one I felt the worst for was the Green Cure, because she was straight up defense only until season 2, when they gave her an offensive ability. Like, she was basically the Mercury of the group. Mercury rarely got to do her own stuff, because her abilities were defensive and supportive, and, like, she would create the distraction and open up the enemy to get bombarded by the others. And that's important. Like, don't knock the support characters, but good lord, sometimes like I wish they got like an ultimate, a little bit of something, a counter spell, something to where it doesn't feel like if they're by themselves, they're screwed because all they can do is defend, all they can do is support. Giving them like a little bit of something just makes them feel more rounded. And they did actually figure that out, because in a lot of the modern Precure, they all have a barrier technique. They all have an offensive attack. And typically it's either the 3rd or 4th cure who get like the 6th ranger extra bonus special stuff. Mileage may vary depending on the cure season. But as far as the opening is, it rocks, it bops. Kudos to the people who wrote this one. And I'll drop the mic on this.
I gotta agree with Paper's whole thing about the Red Ranger syndrome. That can get really strong in certain versions of Precure. And considering I am a person who grew up on Power Rangers, I can tell you this. When it came to Red Ranger syndrome, that shit went hard, especially for certain Rangers in certain seasons. If you know which Red Ranger got the special snowflake touch and got to be treated like, oh, hey, I am the Messiah and all that other jazz, then you know. If you know, you know. But, yeah. That's all I gotta say on the matter, because, like, Paper speaks the truth.
If I may, if you don't know, look no further than the Operation Overdrive, where it was the Red Ranger who basically served as like he was the one that could pull the sword. He took down like a major monster unmorphed. He would charge at enemies unmorphed, and it was treated like, oh, it's so brave, so courageous, so it's basically stupid because you would think he'd get like smacked around, but no. It's like they make him Saitama for 5 seconds, and he can do no wrong. He's powerful. It's like, oh, I'm not human, so I can, like, defeat you. I'm not going to say Sentai didn't also do this, because literally there is a Sentai season that literally makes the Red Ranger positively perfect in every way. Like, his only flaw is literally he can't lie.
And the few times he gets sick, it requires a specific kind of mochi made. Ugh, dumb. And Brothers was seriously an acid trip. As to Precure 5 as a whole, to be real, this season has the weakest memories for me, partly because when I first found the franchise, the last 15 episodes of the second season weren't subbed at the time. Heck, I didn't even see said episodes until I was showing these guys. Speaking of their second season.
Going from Red Ranger Syndrome to Sixth Ranger Syndrome. Good God, I hate Milky Rose. Screw this edition. You know how annoying this is? Literally, Milk's right there in the bottom corner, and she's the sixth Precure on the side. She's literally showing up twice on the screen, possibly to try and tease the audience and not give it away that she is the sixth cure. But screw that. Everyone knew. Everyone got it. They dragged the stupid reveal on for so dang long. It's just like, we knew this was happening. Can we get on with it?
Yeah, the fact that Nozomi and Urarod didn't catch on seriously hurt.
But as far as this opening is concerned, I like that they show the villain. You can see Bumby in there. The beat is still rockin' same. As far as I know, I don't think there is a terrible Precure opening. Much like I don't think there is a bad One Piece opening. Mileage may vary for people, but I don't think the songs are terrible, and they always go hard with the animation. But I could be wrong. I haven't seen all the Precure seasons, and I haven't seen all the Precure openings.
Which in this video will inevitably change.
Yep, but I'm dropping the mic.
From Red Ranger to Sixth Ranger, and I don't really have a good experience when it comes to Sixth Ranger Syndrome, because sometimes the Sixth Rangers like to piss me off, and I tend to get real angry with that, especially if the Sixth Ranger does something extremely stupid that I don't like. Prime example, I'm looking at you, Time Force Ranger, Quantum Rex Stealer. was jealous of the Red Ranger, and I just, it still bothers me to this day. So I went into this when it came to the 6th Precure with a little bit of trepidation, because anytime a 6th Ranger or a 6th member is introduced, it can be pass fail. That's the best way to put it. Anytime a 6th Ranger is introduced, it can be pass fail.
And to be clear, 6th Ranger syndrome can also appear in Power Rangers that have a smaller cast. If it's like Ninja Storm, focused on only 3 Rangers, the Thunder Rangers had 6th Ranger syndrome for a while, specifically Tommy Oliver syndrome temporarily. RIP to the legend. But then Cam got the full 6th Ranger syndrome, where he was made to be more powerful than the others, got shafted almost immediately, and even his upgrades were ranged from random to useless, which is truly sad. The reason why I bring this up is because this is also true for Precure, because there are some Precures that only have 2, and then they introduce either a 3rd or 4th member and get the 6th Ranger syndrome. There's one in particular, the medical Precure season, that tackles battling viruses, the biogens.
Biogen.
Yes. That 6th Ranger is basically the reincarnation of the spirit of the earth, and oh golly, is she handled the most painful way possible. I literally would have rather had Lady Rate become a Precure. Like, seriously, she wanted so desperately to fight and to help and not just be the princess in distress that's constantly being buckled down by sickness because of everything that's going on. Literally, they give the witchy, bratty milk Precure powers, but the noble-hearted pupper doesn't get powers.
Good decade
Seriously?
difference between those seasons.
That makes it worse, because they should have learned by now. And quick side tangent, like, this is why I am typically critical of the later Pokemon seasons. You've had years of experience, you've seen what does work, you've seen what doesn't work. So when the later seasons, like especially like Journeys, when Journeys drop the ball, there's less of an excuse, because they should have the time, knowledge, and preparation for this season. Like, if this was going to be an anniversary season, they should have gotten like, okay, we're going to have Ash and Surge have a rematch. Like, we set that up in one episode. We need to get Lieutenant Surge's voice actor. If they're not voice acting anymore, or if, tragically, RIP a legend, they're not available anymore, we need to get someone to replace them. And I know Japan doesn't like to do that, but sometimes, like, needs must. But anything that happened in Journeys that was, like, head-bangingly painful is worse, because they should have learned from the seasons that came before. So that's why I am typically harder on the later seasons of Precure, because they're doing stuff that's annoying that's been done in the earlier seasons of Precure that were equally as annoying back then. It's 2025, 2024, 2023, 2022, 2021. The medium needs to grow, the medium needs to evolve, and the stupid plot writings need to get checked and nipped in the bud when they happen. Dropping the mic.
Okay, well, after that dismal ending for both us and apparently the franchise as a whole, Precure benefited from a fresh start. Precure a season of so many firsts, including the season that started the 3D dance animation, and the first to start with 3 cures, and the first to have a heel turn.
Very true. Also, kudos to the opening. It actually shows the 3 generals right off the bat. Love them. They were each unique. Their battle strategies were always interesting. This one actually gave us a magical MacGuffin fairy thing that I didn't dislike. She was tiny, she was sweet, she had magical powers. When she did crazy stuff with it, it fit within their character. I never felt she was overly annoying. She overstayed her welcome. Unlike some of the other fairies, it's like, oh yeah, I'm bored. I'm going to go play, even though I've been kidnapped once before, or the evil, dangerous people can find me, and if I'm not near my Precure partner, they can capture me and put them all in danger. But of course, that can't happen because status quo and evil can't triumph over good, even though good's being absolutely stupid.
I always do wonder why it is a MacGuffin can't ever just be used, and we see the bad guys win. Like, okay, yeah, sure, haha, they got the MacGuffin now, but they lose it, and then shit like this. And then you got where the MacGuffin is sentient, and you still can't win.
I mean, we kind of got that with the new Sentai season, where the wedding cake villains actually did capture the holy MacGuffin of the season. They tried to do it too early, which caused it to not quite work.
Yeah, way.
But they did technically succeed in their plan, weirdly enough, and they did actually reset the universe to horrifying ways. But yeah, like even if it's going to be undone, and I know in a couple of like finales the bad guys kind of win temporarily type of stuff, but this goes back to like the first couple of like Precure seasons where the Light Kingdom is so incompetent, you start rooting for the bad guys. And it got painful because I legit was going, why are these people in charge? They're terrible at their job. They're supposed to keep the balance, and they're not doing anything. They're getting captured. There's no urgency. They don't seem to care that these girls are fighting their war for them. Give Zordon credit. Zordon, depending on the season in Power Rangers, could be like high or low on the spectrum of a good mentor or not. He understood, though, that these were teenagers with attitude. He didn't expect them to devote their entire lives to the cause. If chances of doing good deeds came along, he said, yes, go for them. Like, we'll pass on the powers. This is a golden opportunity for you to do more good for the world. Of course, like, I'm not going to stop you. We're going to make sure you transfer the powers, but yeah, go. These knuckleheads, more often than not, were like sipping tea and eating crackers while the world was falling apart.
And we actually see them do this in like the first or second episode of Max Heart.
Yeah, I legit
really put them in a good light.
Big time. Really sad, because like in this season, they want to capture Infinity and basically snuff out all emotions, make everyone mindless slaves. Simple, dark, sinister. I get it. But the Dark Kingdom in like the first one, yeah, they wanted the crystal light powers and they were going to destroy the Light Kingdom by doing it, but what did they want outside of just being evil? And good lord, the second season made it all the more complicated, introducing the little child. They greatly made that all kinds of confusing.
Things like that just never made much sense to me, where there'd be like this thing that goes on and then they do stupid shit, and it's just like, why do you do this? You're supposed to be like defending and saving the world and shit like that, but instead you're over here just doing real stupid stuff, and you have the audience cheering for the bad guys to win because your heroes are a bunch of morons.
Okay, well, moving on. And as for this next one, for those of you who were disappointed when you first saw the Pokemon Sun and Moon animation, I encourage you to watch this next season, as that's where my mind went when I first saw it.
Why?
Oh God. I actually feel my eye twitching like
I forgot they had that in the opening too. Okay. I'm picking up the mic on this one. For those of you who don't know, there was a toy in America, a children's toy, a baby toy, where you feed the baby some kind of chemical mixture and she like literally pooped charms. You took these charms, you can make bracelets out of them and little plastic jewelry. It's gross. It's disgusting. It's ridiculous. The fact that this season consistently had pooping fairies, and it's like, oh, the little fairy poops the charm, and da-da-da. And they took time animating it because they were proud of this. They reused this animation almost every single episode. It was not cute. It's not funny. And even if it was part of the toy line that they were doing in Japan at the time, still no. I can't stress enough that pooping fairies was a constant pain in the butt. Besides that, the villains were very unique. They actually lasted the whole dang season. Usually we have a villain show up, they die, next general shows up, they die, next general shows up type of thing. No, these guys literally stood up until the final throwdown. But I will say this, my least favorite cure this season was Marine. Not just because of the stuff that happened in this season, but legit the crossover movie. She was separated from her partner, and she acted like she couldn't do anything.
Wrong crossover movie. That's the next season.
It was Marine, though, wasn't it?
Well, Blossom and Marine aren't shown as a duo. They can both act solo.
No, that's what I'm saying. She was acting like she couldn't do anything, and she's standing right... I'm like, girl, you can fight. Because when we were watching that movie, I was freaking out because she was separated from her... Because all the cures were together, then they all got separated. Some of the cures need their partner to enact their techniques. I get that. And separating them, those specific ones, is smart, highly intelligent. That doesn't mean they can't throw hands, it just means they can't use their ultimate. Marine has been part of a cure team that... Yes, she has a combination with Blossom, just like Sunshine and Moonlight have a combination attack. Fine. But that doesn't mean they don't have their individual powers, and that doesn't mean they can't individually fight. But when they got separated, Marine's brain cells dropped to negative numbers.
Not that she had many to begin with.
Yeah. And even in her official season, Marine's tantrums this season annoyed me. They didn't happen often, but some of the stupid things they pulled was ridiculous. The other major complaint I had this season was making Cure Blossom the air quotes weakest of all the cures.
As I mentioned to these guys earlier, Cure a couple of years later would take that title.
Yeah. But I hate that, and I get they're trying to build her up that like she's gonna rise to the challenge. She's going to rise and become stronger. Between dealing with that nonsense early on and dealing with Marine's BS, I was very close to like walking off this season. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, because we had that nonsense and pooping fairies. I had very little attachment to this season. Literally, the only thing that kept me going was Kurojaki. I'm dropping the mic on this one.
I'm gonna be brutally honest here. This crap annoyed me as much as the fairies from the Wings Club did. Cause yeah, the fairies and Wings, in case you weren't, are like super freaking annoying, and there are moments where they quite physically drive me to tears because of the sheer amount of stupidity they do. And yeah, no, pooping fairies. If this was supposed to be a poop joke, you're not clever, you're not funny. It's not funny when Teen Titans Go does it. It's funny when you do it. Just no. The answer is no. I just can't with that. No. This had to have been the one where I just was like tuning out, and I'm like, no. If you're gonna go with pooping fairies and they're gonna be like this, I'm like, no. Just no.
Well, here's hoping this one, which I'm currently showing them, will put them in a more upbeat tune.
Okay, this one's fine.
Those of you who saw, this one was actually in my top 10 anime openings list, and man, what a ride this one was. For whatever reason, while I had seen it here and there, I actually didn't get into this Precure season until it wrapped up, unfortunately.
This song being on your top 10 list was more than deserved. I love the bop.
Yeah.
I love the musical flow to this one. We haven't finished this season, so I don't know how well the plot's gonna end up, but from where we're currently at, I kind of see the villains as super jokey. As of this recording, we literally watched an episode where they literally had a bag of the notes that they had captured, and the big boss threw out this line that all those notes that they captured wouldn't even fill a single page of the grand musical score thing that they're trying to fix up. I do not know what the writers were thinking, but why in the hell would you have that line in such an early episode, especially after like so much of Siren being made a fool of? But overall, like, I've been enjoying the season. The opening has always been a bop and brings me into it. But for a quick PSA, the initial drama between the two Cure girls was done over basically a misunderstanding and a lack of communication. People, learn from anime. There are so many anime where the pointless drama is done because people just assume what the other is thinking instead of just talking to them. Talk to your friends. Me and Fame have been watching stuff on YouTube where manipulators mess with people and like lie behind their backs because they don't expect people to talk. to the person that they're lying about to check references and check notes. If somebody's talking bad about someone else, like a mutual friend, check with the friend, saying, okay, this is what this person says about you. I'm not believing it for a second. I'm checking with you. If you're a fan of Medea, the hoes try and do this. Don't trust the hoe, check with your man. That was like the
Yep.
perfect line.
Mm-hmm.
Communication saves a whole lot of drama. And if all you do is text and like your friend seems like they're getting mad about something, they're probably reading your text wrong. Give them a call, actually talk either face to face or over the phone, touch base. It's okay for there to be misunderstandings. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be a lot of things. The point thing is good, healthy communication. It will save your life. It'll save your relationships. It'll save your sanity. I'm going to step off my soapbox now and pass the mic to the others.
Watch a Tyler Perry movie. Seriously, I'm giving you a suggestion for this because the lessons and life lessons in those movies, even if you just watch the play, will be a godsend to you. Trust and believe. They will help a lot.
Especially the plays. The plays are awesome.
Plays have a lot more meaning than anything else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just saw 2 of them just a couple of days ago.
But yeah, just trust me on this one. The lessons you learn from the plays are a lot more relevant and convenient towards stuff that happens in daily life. Trust it. Believe in it. Because if you don't, well, then that's just on you. If you choose not to believe in it, then there's nothing I can do. They give advice, they give you things on how to help yourself and how to help your relationship. It's just what they do. Some movies are meant to teach lessons that you just can't learn in real life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I got to say on that matter.
Alright, well, one final note about this season, how this season had less actual singing in it than the one that was space themed. I'll never know. Now, this next one, Fame and Paper, have not seen it yet, or at least I haven't shown it to them in full. I've dropped a few things here and there. This was also the first season that I saw as it aired, and the first set of 2 seasons that was adapted into Glitter Force.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, Lord.
Relax, I still have no intentions of showing you guys those. Even if someone paid us, I'm still not sure I'd participate in them. But on to the original version of them.
So, for those of you who don't know, that would mean it's a red for Gao.
Yep.
Oh yeah, one other thing, I think Fame will have some conflicted emotions with the generals for the season.
Why? Okay, she's a cooker. Artist.
You got an artist.
Big sister.
This poor girl.
Archery. Support. Ow, 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 ow. Okay, cool. Ah!
So this is where he's from.
Yep.
Hi, handsome. How you doing?
And on to the reason why I say conflicting.
Clown!
That went about as well as expected.
Die. Death. Death to all of them. Death. Death to all of them. Clown! Clown!
Also, I think I just noticed the theme.
If you were thinking
Okay.
Fairy Tales paper, you'd be correct.
Yes, the blue one is the big bad wolf. The ogre one is like either the troll under the bridge or the ogre. The little munchkin looking one is the wicked witch. The sinister wizard, and of course, I'm not going to mention it.
Clown.
Yeah.
Death. Death to all of them. Death to all of them.
I'll just pick this wolf up and we'll throw
Wolf,
you
the wolf
over
is
into
fine.
the medical one, because that's where I was expecting you to pop up from.
But yeah, the rest of your little friends, your little posse here, you all gotta die. Like, you all have to die now. Like, I don't like you. You all have to die. And in this case, it's death by fire!
If this is how Fame is acting to the Clown General, let me just tell you,
Let's be real. If if Fame was editing this video, he'd be using the Lloyd nuclear blast, the eradication beam from on high, multiple times.
May the heavens themselves call down judgment upon you, abomination, for now your eternal rest and eternal torture shall be in the pits of Tartarus. Die.
Exactly that. But not a lot I can say because I haven't actually seen this season yet, and I haven't seen Glitter Force. I have actually heard of Glitter Force before. I did not know it was a Precure adaptation. I thought Glitter Force was a Precure ripoff.
The endings certainly were.
As Gal said, I trust Gal's judgment. Glitter Force is definitely going to be a red for us. So unless we hit some major milestones or someone wants to drop $500 to buy a red pass, we won't be tackling it.
Be advised, I will be having weaponry. I will be having the heavy artillery. I will be holding my hand over the big, red, shiny button because the clown will go down.
Hard.
Oh, boy.
For every second that clown breathes, I will unleash hell.
Well, you've actually got a little bit of a grace period, Fame. If memory serves, that general doesn't actually show up proper in the series until episode 10.
That doesn't fill me with any sort of joy.
But going back to Glitter Force for a second, I'd sooner go into the adaptation for this one than the next one. A little bit of trivia. While Witchy Precure was airing, that was also the year Japan got hit with the nuclear meltdown and tsunami, so Smile Precure was actually created as a lighter, more comedic season to help ease the tensions of the country. Kind of like how Zenkaiger was after COVID.
Still death to the clowns.
Now here's where I think a lot of the Precure community considers this to be a bad opening.
Doki Precure.
What? Okay, I'll start because I'll be quick with this. I haven't seen this season, but just judging it as an opening, I don't really get the bad or terrible. It's been like I'm not even gonna judge it off of the title because, good lord, with how many Precure seasons, the fact that it took them so long to use Doki Doki is surprising. But it looks like a standard Precure season opening. The animation's not terrible. The song was fine. It showed the bad guys in the opening, which I like typically. It showed their transformations. It showed the leader meeting all of them and interacting with them in different ways. Unless like the fandom like hates the opening because the season itself was so bad and they hate the opening by proxy. I saw the little cherub berry and immediate red flag, but between Chiffon and Milk-esque type fairies, and good lord, the ones from the first season. The fairies can always be a coin toss. I'm not going to judge it based on its appearance alone, but purely as an anime opening, I don't think this was that bad.
Well, that was based off of one YouTuber who had a bit of a music background, but there is one point in the anime that a lot of fans, well, let's just say took issue with and leave it at that.
Okay. And just
All right,
FYI,
then.
I'm not knocking anyone's opinion because legit, some people can hate on an anime because an opening was so bad or an ending was so bad, or sometimes people can hate a season of an anime and can judge the anime opening for it. There's no shame in that. I try to make it clear for anyone watching, I judge this as purely as an anime opening watcher. I have no context. Like, if any of these girls are terribly written characters, I haven't seen that yet. If the season is head-bangingly stupid, I haven't seen that yet. If the little cherub fairy thing is annoying as piss, I don't know that yet.
To put it bluntly, we have not seen this to give like our final say on if they are annoying or if they piss us off.
Correct.
We'll tell you guys this. One of the writers worked on Kamen Rider O's.
So then it shouldn't be bad, right?
That makes me have questions because I know how O's ends, and it wasn't a happy ending.
I was trying not to think about it.
It's admittedly
I don't like being
since
reminded
we-
how O's and how it basically broke our hearts with all that happened and everything else in between.
Well,
Because
to
that's
be
like,
fair,
I
guys,
think like
this
the
is-
writer for Gaim, the Kamen Rider Gaim, also did, I think it was Evangelion or something to that like, where we were expecting great tragedy, and sure enough, a lot of what the hell and great tragedy.
Oh, yeah, Fame, something that might not change your opinion too much about this season. It aired alongside Wizard.
Oh, nice.
I
Oh, jeez.
will withhold my excitement for now. Let's get moving on.
Now, on to what is officially considered the 10th anniversary.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay. Okay.
For the record, these guys also haven't seen the season, and there's a way I want to describe this, but I'm afraid that might be too spoilery. Guys, do you recall when I've mentioned the Cure who chose to reveal her secret without any pressure? She's in this season.
Oh, for the love of God, tell me
Oh,
this
it's
isn't
this
that
one. Oh dear. Okay. So we've heard whispers about this one. For those of you who don't know, I am typically not someone who likes the magical girl, magical boy, superhero, secret identity thing, as long as it's not explained why they need to keep the identity a secret. Because typically I feel if the villains know who you are, keeping your identity a secret just causes problems. Unless we have like a Ben 10 or Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur situation where if the family finds out about the secret, they're like, no, it's too dangerous. Like we're gonna ground you. We're gonna keep you from being a superhero, and keep your magical crime fighting individual from saving the world. Duh. Or if it's like a miraculous ladybug situation where revealing the secret can cost you to lose your powers, even though Miraculous does that in a very terrible way. But regardless, especially I think it was like Cure Wonderful that like really hammered in my distaste for this thing because Medi kept complaining. It's like, no, no one can know that you're Precure. It's bad. It's bad. If people who are not Precure find out, it'll be bad. And literally nothing bad ever happens with other people knowing the ding dang secret. Absolutely freaking nothing.
Wow, it's almost like she was getting upset over nothing.
So this Cure revealing her secret unprompted, I've been kind of curious how that's going to go. We haven't seen this yet, but as far as an opening is concerned, this was fine. It had a good bop to it at places. Kind of had a nice little lull moment when it was spinning and focusing on each of the girls. I thought it was fine.
Oh, right. Not to mention the Cure who takes the weakest Precure title away from Tsubumi is also in this season.
And there's the yellow flag. There's the yellow flag. Not a red flag, but there's the yellow one.
I see the flag on the field, and my concerns are risen.
All right, well, to what I personally consider the low point of the decade, we head into the high.
Okay.
Princess Pedicure. Oh boy. I'd say I'm surprised they stole it, but some part of me isn't.
This is reminding me of something.
A kingdom under the moon. Why does that seem familiar, Paper?
Yep, Demon Princess. Okay, so before I forget, the animation style for this season reminds me of an anime some people may or may not know called Princess Tutu.
There it is.
Yeah, been a while since I thought about that one.
Yep, for some reason, the way they dress, the way they bounce, like even the way they're designed, it just screamed Princess Tutu to me. But I haven't seen this one. The opening I thought was actually pretty great. I liked kind of like almost the storybook melody in the middle where it kind of like shifts into the rest of the scene. It's really solid, and storybook princesses, princes, like I can see what they're going for. But I liked it. I still think the musical Precure opening is still the best so far that I've seen. Still, I like this one. It was pretty good.
and easily this is the one I'm most looking forward to showing you guys. Fame, anything to add?
Nah, I look forward to it.
Yeah, this one easily the high points to Precure brings out all the best qualities in the franchise. And when I saw that Crunchyroll made this one available, I immediately binged it, which oddly
Nice.
enough. At the same time they made this one available, they also did for this one.
Oh, well, this is a Twinkle. Oh, witches!
Yep. The Witchy Precure.
Alright, that was pretty catchy.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
I
so
love this.
one I have shown them.
Yes, I positively love this season. The magical gems unlocking different power sets was great. The little fairy wasn't annoying. Mofun was great. And sadly, Mofun only got to be a cure in a movie until the official second season. Like, my biggest criticism of this season was literally that we got shafted the full thing. I kind of felt the season should have ended before they introduced the Jin, and they should have cut it off, saved time, and rebuilt the budget to handle all the Jin, all the different characters, because they teased
Yep.
a bunch of other Jin, and all we got was their shadows at the end. No designs, no real talk, and no real character, no real interaction, and it was disappointing because they had done so well with the first half of the season, and it's just like the second half they ran out of time, ran out of budget. Lord knows this happened back in the day with Digimon, because the reason why only Agumon and Gabumon got their megas, even though the megas for all the other partner Digimon were planned, to the point where there were official cards of all their mega forms released in the Digimon card game, and they never got adapted to the anime until Try. But the dangers of poor budgeting and running out of budget. Sad state of affairs. But positively love this season, and the Kirakira part always gets me. That's really cute. But I'm dropping the mic on this one.
Fame, anything to add?
Nope, that pretty much covers it.
Alright, moving right along to a season where rewatching with these guys actually helped improve my overall opinion to it.
They did the thing. Okay, so this one is actually one of my favorite Precure seasons. Literally, my biggest complaint of this season is literally that Cure Waffle didn't get to actually just be a regular member of the team. He's essentially just regulated as an extra, not an official cure or a movie only cure type of deal. And it's pretty tragic given his character and his motivation. But overall, before we watched it, Gao kind of warned me, worried that I might not like this season. But I enjoyed it from start to finish. Even like, yeah, the villain was pretty petty, but how he manipulated the others and created each general and messed with the Kirakira. I legit enjoyed this one. There's another food related one that I thought I'd be fine with and ended up not really liking it towards the end. But this I would rewatch again and again. Sucks about Cure Waffle not being a thing, but we wouldn't get an official proper male cure for quite a while.
At least a sister
Sadly.
one.
Yeah.
Alex Boleyn when I officially showed that one to you guys, which is actually the next season after this one.
Noted.
Moving on then to what's actually the franchise's 15th anniversary.
What's it? What?
Here?
What?
What the absolute
Hug? What?
Yeah, the guy on the right, that's the hamster.
What? I mean, I shouldn't be surprised because Coco went nuts. But still. Huh?
Alright then. Okay, the bad guy.
It showed the villains.
These, what the? What?
Okay.
Huh?
Okay, clearly I'm gonna need to give a little context for this season.
Please, Gal. This made my head hurt a little bit.
What the did I just see?
Alright, well, basically the whole point of this series was hope for the future. Like, the enemies wanted to freeze time altogether. So while no bad things would happen, no more good things would happen either.
Okay. Honestly, I can both understand where they're coming from and also recognize the flaw in the grand design of, stopping all of time, preventing things from going forward, moving things along. Okay, I can see that. So the opening with like them doing the different jobs, it's like that's their goals for the future, to become like a doctor, become a cheerleader, etc., etc.
More or less, yeah. And a little bit of funny bit as to how the people are turned into monsters when they're purified. The monsters say, "Please accept my resignation."
Okay. You would think that would be for 5, because that was like literally the villains all worked for a business.
Fair enough. Fame, anything to add? And assuming you've processed everything?
It reminds me of Do Re Mi.
More than
Does
fair.
anybody even remember that show? Like the magical Do Re Mi.
I remember it. I know what happens at the end. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of that, you already saw this episode of Healing Good, but there was a little cameo. Referring to Do-Re-Mi. Granted, it was just a poster on a bulletin board, but cameo's a cameo.
Fair
Noted.
enough. But for those of you who don't know what we're talking about as far as the ending of Do-Re-Mi, we're not spoiling it. We're not talking about it. We're going to move right along because that was depressing.
Yep.
Alright, well, now to take off. And Fame, this next one, to my surprise, was Mew's first season of it. Oh, whoops. Forgot I included this one. This is just the ending of
Nice.
Yeah, just felt compelled to show this to you guys. Now, on to the actual 16th season and Muse's first.
Star Twinkle Precure.
Yep.
Okay. I think we watched, not all of it. I think we've only watched like the first 2 episodes for, I think it was like Muse's birthday.
Just the first one.
Oh yeah.
Another archer.
Again, how this season had more actual singing than Sweet Precure, I'll never know. But yeah, this was also the first season of Precure that aired during the Reiwa era, and as you probably noticed, the first Precure of biracial descent.
Fair enough. Thing was pretty solid to me. Like nothing like really outstanding. The beat was simple, clean. Animation was on point as it is for the Precure seasons. Cast looks fun. Like I'll be looking forward to watching the full thing at some point in time.
Same here. Like, it looks entertaining, and I look forward to seeing more of it.
Now on to a little bit of more familiar territory.
Healing with Precure. Hmm. Still a sweet open.
For those of you who don't know, this season the enemies involved a living virus, and it aired in 2020.
Yeah, that was not the best thing to do.
And you know what? Before anyone thinks like, oh, this was like inappropriate, it's like, guys, this legit does happen.
Especially
This
considering
wasn't
they
the first.
figured this stuff out a year in advance. There's no way they could have known about COVID in early 2019.
Yeah, and I can tell you this from personal experience. The Resident Evil game, the remake from Resident Evil 3, the remake, came out, and you want to know what the first lines was in the opening credits? An epidemic has struck the U.S. Yeah, they didn't plan on that, people. No one ever plans for things like that.
Because, guys, like, let's be real. Like, there is like a very famous Stephen King story that talks about a pandemic that wipes out the world, and that the government knew about it, failed to properly handle it, to the point where it got like a very famous TV series, and actually just got a reboot of that story. And I believe Whoopi Goldberg was in it playing the wise psychic woman, if I remember correctly.
When does she not play somebody that's wise or psychic
Oh,
or
believe
involved
me,
in the supernatural?
if we tackle Whoopi Goldberg as one of our like actor months, the stuff she's been in, it's going to be a treat to go through. Sister Acts alone are going to be great, but like her famous mystical role was, or one of them anyway, was on Star Trek, where she played a being that even Q, those of you who know Star Trek and know who Q is, was actually concerned about her being there, to the point where they were actually having a standoff, like they were about to throw hands and screw over the universe, to tell you, like, understand what she was, what she could do, that even Q got like all kind of unnerved about it. But frankly, this season has been positively fun, despite the context and the bacteria virus element to it. The fact that one of the generals is closely related to one of the lead precures, I particularly enjoyed, because I don't think that's been done yet, where the villains have like a close personal connection to the precures themselves. And this doesn't count for like the heel turn precure or the redeemed precure, because obviously then they, who were once a villain and had connections to the other villains, that doesn't count. But yeah, I'm gonna drop the mic on this one. I love this opening. It has like a very feel-good bop to it, and the season itself has been very sweet. I think there's been only like 1 or 2 episodes that have been really like head-bangingly stupid, but that's just the writers, making the characters carry the idiot ball to teach a moral of the story or a lesson at the cost of the characters' overall arcing plots.
Yep.
Alright. This should be the last one within the franchise that I haven't shown you guys yet. And much like how Smile was sweet, and this one had a more lighter tone to it.
Okay then.
Tropical Rogue.
Rouge.
Or Rouge. Sorry, it's just, I hate that word. It's either rogue or it's rouge, and I'm just like,
A mermaid?
And I'm just realizing I go grab the instrumental version of it.
Oh.
They're mermaids.
One of them is.
Are we looking at a little mermaid type of thing here?
A what?
A Little Mermaid type of deal. She sells her legs or some shit.
Kinda, sorta.
What you... I was wondering if this was a mermaid melody type of deal. I'm starting to think that.
Well, it certainly does look like, doesn't it?
Well, believe it or not, the central theme around this season was makeup.
Okay.
What? How does that? She's a mermaid. How does that make sense? What?
I'd have even taken the costume, like jewelry, because the treasures of the sea type of deal. But makeup of all things?
She's a mermaid. Why?
But like Gal said, we haven't seen this one, and even with the instrumental version, like I like the tropical samba music. So I'll say I legit enjoyed this one. I'd be down for watching the season of this.
That makes two of us. The tropical samba music. I like that kind of music. It's my vibe.
Cha 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 cha, like do 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 do, cha 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 cha, do 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 do.
Alright, well, get comfortable, folks, because we're about to hit the season that's a low point for all of us across the board.
Oh God.
Oh, good lord.
Pepper, sweetie, you deserve so much better. For those of you who may or may not be aware, this has actually become my least favorite Precure season out of everything I've watched so far. This did positively everything wrong. And you know what? Even if you give a pass that Toei got hacked and all the nonsense with all that happened, that they rushed certain plot lines, here's the thing. That I can tolerate up to about 2/3 of the way of the series. By then, you had time to collect yourselves and stick the landing, even if there were troubles, even if there were plot issues, etc. For those of you who do not know, Black Pepper is basically this season's Tuxedo Mask. And he can fight, he can brawl, he can do shit, but for whatever reason, they sideline him to the point where he doesn't even show up for some fights. He literally doesn't. He doesn't shut up a delicious field if Rosemary isn't nearby. Just nothing.
Yeah,
The saving grace, and that's saying something. But the thing that pissed me off the most was the Red Ranger syndrome of this season's Pink Leader Cure. She actively wants to talk no jutsu the villain to the point where she actively gets other people hurt, stopping them from taking the bad guy down. And her actions cause people to slowly starve to death, obviously Precure, so no one actually died. But people were starving and hungry, and her actions left the situation unsolved, and everyone's strangling and strategizing, and it just ooh to the lolly.
Calm yourself, Piper.
So the great misuse of the male characters this season, the sheer number of plot contrivances and plot conveniences and level of mismanagement of the series and overall, this has by far been my least favorite Precure season. And it's sad, because as far as the opening goes, the opening's fine. It's just for the season itself, I hate it. Only Wan Wan and Black Pepper and Rosemary, y'all are good. Go join another Precure season. You deserve so much better. But I'm dropping the mic.
I hate when shows take their male characters and turn them into damsels in distress, or they just go out of their way to reduce them to side characters and don't give them anything. Miraculous Ladybug, you know I'm looking directly at you, because y'all have a habit of the Ladybug show instead of the Miraculous Tales of Ladybug and Chat Noir. You know, because they're a duo, they're supposed to work together, they're supposed to be a team. Yet Chat Noir seems to spend a lot of time on the sidebar while you call everybody else but the one person who's supposed to be your go-to partner.
Funnily
Like,
enough,
just,
I thought you were gonna say Winks.
oh no, the Winx was next. Winx and Miraculous Ladybug, you are on my shit list because y'all do your male characters so dirty that y'all just don't even try. Like, the specialist gets sidebarred. Adrian gets treated like a snowflake and doesn't even get to do much because half the time she calls in somebody else to do stuff and only calls him in when something needs to be destroyed. And then just the specialists in Wings Club are absolutely ridiculously stupid. They can't do shit. They can't do anything. They've got magic tech weapons. And then, as we discovered from our retrospective of the Winx Club, Red Ribbon Academy was supposed to be a school for wizards, and they don't learn magic.
Yeah, that was a very painful blow.
Painful, nothing. It was absolutely ridiculous. Like, why? Why do you, I understand girl power and all that other stuff, but people, come on. You got a male and female protagonist. You gotta give them the same length of fucking time on the screen.
Yeah, for me, I'll sum this season up with this one statement. I'm not mad, I'm disappointed.
I'm mad.
I'm mad.
I'm not disappointed. I'm straight up mad. It's like I was disappointed with the other food cure because like literally like my biggest criticism of it is that Cure Waffle got shafted. You know, everything else was good. This the cures in this season, like I keep looking at them thinking, okay, you guys know they steal the recipe spirits. And you literally will host food events and like smile and wave at them. It's like you have your little cure watches. Get them safely stored into the cure watches. It's like, no, they wait for the villain to show up, capture the little thing, torture them by being corrupted by the dark energy, and have this whole showdown and fight. And if or for people on to say, well, of course that has to happen. That's how it's like. No, apparently not, because 5 or 6 years ago they literally had a season where literally the villains could capture a whole bag of the little spirits, and it not matter. The cures didn't rescue that bag of spirits, and as far as we know yet, that bag of spirits never comes up again. So they straight up just captured a bunch of spirits, and it's just kind of like, doesn't matter. Literally, let them collect the good spirits, have them safely tucked away and safe, and just have another recipe spirit pop up to get captured. Because they show that there's different variations to them. That's all they had to do. Or, I don't know, have one that actually jams the signal so where they can't use it. Something. It's not hard. But the level, just the parade of stupid choices in this thing. to the point where it's not even the cures themselves that brings down the big bad. It was stuff preset by the one who kind of like foresaw all of this coming and didn't choose the big bad to be his successor in the begin with. Again, that was his whole reason why he turned evil. Another petty villain, which again I think is far worse than the other villain, because he straight up said he literally used food as extortion. It's like, you're going to serve me and worship me or you're gonna starve. That is some next level. I have rarely seen villains pull that card of actively saying, "Yeah, I'm going to take your food away. So if you want to live, you'll have to serve me." That's shit right there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, line, I'm just gonna call it. This season is easily the low point of the 2020s for Precure.
No kidding.
Until I see something worse, this has like been the weakest season of all the Precure I've seen. Like, even the first one, for all its ups and downs, like I can kind of like hand wave some of it away. It's like, it's the very first season, they're still finding themselves, etc., etc. This, no mercy. They knew better by this point.
Yep. Alright, now moving on to both the 20th anniversary season and the first one that I showed these guys. Yeah, a lot of first with this one too. The first cisgender male Precure, first adult active Precure. By that I just mean she was over 18. And one other thing that's kind of spoilerish show with this particular opening. Did this series have a few problems? Yes, but I would happily watch this season again.
And see, like, the few problems it had, like, I can, again, kind of hand wave away. It's not like they were repeat problems from previous seasons. It's like they tried to do certain things, whether it worked or not, was kind of, like, up to the execution. I legit like Minotone, and I believe it was it Batamonda? Or was Batamonda, like, an earlier one? Because I'm pretty sure he was like a bat vampire-esque thing. Because the pig was the orc, we had the bat for the vampire, Minotone was the minotaur, and then the final general was straight up the devil.
Oh yeah, Batamonda was in this season. Yeah. Also,
okay,
he also shared a voice with Jin Yuki in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX.
I completely missed that. But straight up, I like this season. A couple of like ups and downs, like especially with like the message episodes, but when it focused on the story, I thought they did great. Cure Wing was such a beautiful and welcome addition. So nice to have like a boy Cure not only in the spotlight, a part of the main team. It was all wonderful. I love this season, and the opening was very good too. Like, starts off with like power ballad and leads to like softer, gentler tones, but still keeping that energy up. But I'll drop the mic on this one.
Yeah, and as I told these guys a few times to get them into it, Cure Wing shares a VA with the Irma from Welcome to Demon School, Irma-kun.
Yeah.
And he also did Don Murasame and Dawn Brothers just the year before. So, yeah, the guy was, working hard at Toy for 2 years straight.
Snap.
And funny you say the word to a wonderful paper.
Okay, I'm going to be 100% real with everybody. This Precure season was a feel-good season. Was it heavy on plot? No. Was it heavy on stakes? No. Did they try to force some drama in one episode? Yes, they did. It was very much pointless. Did they kind of screw over the bunny and the potential male cure this season? Yes, they did. They screwed over him royally. But I am not someone who is going to like stand up and say, it's like, well, they did one male precure. That means every season afterwards needs to have a male precure. No. But they knew exactly what they were doing with how they handled him to the point where he actually does get a cure form, and so does the rabbit in the movie. So he's kind of regulated to a movie-only cure. But I digress. Both the opening, the season, the characters, even the final big bad, this straight up can only be described as a feel-good season. Not high stakes, just something you can watch and enjoy and just let the warmth of the cuteness kind of just like sink in and like lift up your day. If you're having like a shitty day, shitty life, you need to like get the real world pressure off your back. Seriously, put this on. Like if any Precure season got dub this one. Because Lord knows we need plenty of feel-good stuff over here in America right now.
Breach.
Oh, without a doubt.
Well, I know some people had problems with the close quarters combat being replaced with chase scenes. Honestly, I never minded it.
It worked. It worked for this season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true.
Alright, moving on to the final season, as of recording this video at least.
Okay, for those of you who don't know, Milk used to be my most hated character in all of Precure, but then we got the sister lover in this season. To wit, I absolutely hate her. All her plots and sister obsession nonsense is just aggravating. Nails on a chalkboard annoying. And like her whole, oh, I sacrificed her future, but that didn't technically happen, and I get to keep my memories of you, and like I don't really know what I want, and all this other nonsense. It dragged on way too long. It was painful to watch. I hated every second of the plot where she got to become a precure, basically purely from her sister's sacrifice. My only other like major complaint about this season, other than her, is the enemies in this season are terribly bland. Literally, their upgrades have been new shade color and maybe a longer pompadour. Like, and I know like the minions are not supposed to be like overly intricate because they're basically monsters of the week. But guys, these are like next level bland. It's basically the same design, just different shade colors. It's messed up. I'm hoping beyond hope, because this season's still ongoing. I'm hoping beyond hope we get an evil idol, whether they're a precure that's turned good at the end, que sera, or they're just a straight up evil idol and we get some showdowns a la K-pop Demon Hunter or Mermaid Melody Peachy Peach, where their song counters the Idol Cure song, and they actually have like musical clash and showdown. Other than the issues with her and the kind of lame minions in this season, I've enjoyed the Idol Cure. I really have.
Certainly can't go wrong with the music in this season.
True, the music is definitely a bop.
And with that, we've officially come to the end of this video. Since you've made it this far, you obviously like our content, or at least we hope you do. So please consider liking, subscribing, commenting down below, and maybe even subscribe to our Patreon.
And this one's real easy, guys. Name your favorite Precure season. We covered all of them. We need to go back. I think Gao's gotten pretty good at doing the time codes on YouTube. So if you need, you can click on the time codes, go back to any of the openings throughout the season, but comment down below your favorite Precure season. Simple, easy, no stress, no pressure. We will read the comments, and please be nice to everybody. Everyone's opinion is valid. Like, I may not like a certain Precure season. If you love it, share your love for it. I'm not gonna knock you for it. I appreciate any feedback we get on our channel.
Yes, it helps us grow, it helps us learn, helps us develop. You know how it works.
Oh yes. But until next time, ciao everybody.